everybody. So, yeah, let's just go to full screen mode. So we got an atmospheric river coming into the Pacific Northwest. Um, Man, I gotta get this, trying to get this to where... Okay, so we have this atmospheric river coming into the Pacific Northwest, and you can see there is a whole lot of flash flood advisories, flash flood watches, and a whole lot of flash flood warnings. And yeah, this is crazy. And what's even crazier, I'm going to come over here to the model runs, and really quickly, I want to show you what we have here. This is the HRRR, and we're just going to put this into motion. Just, well, wow, what model run is this? Is that incomplete? It's in progress, so I'm going to change it to the 21Z. And I'm going to switch it to precipitation type so you can see where the snow is and everything. As we progress it, this is this constant. This is the simulated radar from the HRRR. Which is very interesting nonetheless. Let's look at the 500 millibar winds with this system. You look at the huge amount of winds up here. Parts of Canada. I don't think there's going to be any risk of supercells. Yeah, no. Surface-based cape. See if there's any kind of boomers, thunder boomers. Okay, give me a moment. Uh, and we're going to quickly, I want to quickly go to a different website to check this stuff out because sometimes weather-wise is not very good with the data and the model run data information. So I'm trying to get to the model runs. Jump the HRRR. Let's go to the Pacific Northwest. All right. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Oh, it's not wanting to zoom in. There it goes. So as we can see here, we have the atmospheric river continuing. As you can see, it just non-stop. And if we click on over to the winter, we can see the precipitation type, and you can see where the snow is. We're talking some big numbers here. Look at the big numbers. These are huge. I mean, 5 inches on top of what's already fallen. So there is like 5 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. Here's 7 inches. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Check out the temperatures. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s, upper 50s for the most part. There's a few things that are around the mountains that are going to be colder, but for the most part, it's going to stay pretty tame. Now, if we can advance it so we can see what the wind is, some high wind gusts. We're talking up there 51 KT. These are pretty intense wind gusts. You can see they just continue to increase as I advance it forward. I mean, 40. That's pretty intensive uh, for the winds. Now we could check the surface-based cape to see whether there's any kind of supports any kind of thunder boomers. Ooh, this is interesting over here. That might support some thunder snow over there, but nothing on the surface-based cape. Getting some cape right here into Oregon. Not very high, but that might support maybe some thunder. Some cape right around the coast. Lightning density. This is where there could be some lightning. Could have some thunder snow in the mountains, but no, if I advance it, the lightning density becomes more and more flu, so that means that there could be some thunderstorms. And it just, yeah, some thunderstorms. So I usually like to look at this to see how tall the clouds are getting. Yeah. So basically, it's going to continue to rain and rain and rain. Check. There's a little bit of a tornado perimeter right here around the Canadian border in the United States. That's interesting. But nothing too major. I didn't think there was going to... That's interesting. Hell SWAT. Hmm. Updraft. Look at this. This is right there where that tornado perimeter is. Look, right there, that little bitty area. Right here. I doubt that there's going to be any tornadoes, but there's just that little bit that's showing up. I mean, not much, but it is just showing up a little bit. I don't think anything of it, but yeah. So there's that. Um, Let me jump back here and let's take a look at the satellite imagery. I need the global sector, please. West. Yes, this is interesting to note. This is the atmospheric river right here. You can see it. And what's interesting is there looks like there's a low pressure center right here that is forming, and you can see the clockwise spin. And look at it. The atmospheric river goes all the way down to almost Hawaii. It looks like the Pineapple Express a little bit. It's this constant flow. This is probably going to cause some big winds. This spinning's probably going to cause some big time winds. Okay, let's jump back here. And let's show you some of the flash flood warnings. I should have got to that first, but your girl over here didn't think. So there's where all the flash flood warnings are in these little bitty boxes right here. Flood warnings, several flood warnings, wind advisories, flood watch, special weather statement, mesoscale discussion. Let's look at the mesoscale discussion first from the Storm Prediction Center. The axis of heaviest rainfall will be expected to shift back north into Washington and also increase in intensity. Will bring rain and increased flooding and landslides risk into these areas. This is expectation as the atmospheric river impacts the northern part of Oregon and will shift north back into western Washington this evening. After a temporary drop in integrity water vapor transport. The values are expected to forecast and increase again towards the towards the OZ hour, which is 3 a.m. by the way. O3Z is 3 a.m. was resulting in an uptick of rainfall. Is that the same? Is this whole area under there's flash flood watch? This is the mesoscale discussion in this area right here. So we have a flood warning. This flood warning is for the Puyallup River, if I'm pronouncing that right. The Puyallup River and Puyallup affecting Pierce County. The flood warning is extended for the following rivers in Washington: South Prairie Creek at South Prairie affecting Pierce County, Puyallup River or Puyallup. I can't pronounce some of these names. I apologize. The Puyallup River near Orton affecting Pierce County. The Nasquality River near National affecting Pierce County and Lewis County, and the Chalice River at Porter affecting Grays and Harbor County. Right now, I don't see any flood emergencies, which flash flood emergency is the highest level of flash flood warnings. It means that it's life-threatening conditions. I don't see any of that. Here's the river at, see, this is the Stockamish River at Port Latch affecting Madison County, the Carbon River near Fairfax affecting Pierce County, the Chalice River above Ground Mound affecting Thurston and Gray Harbor counties. I need to brush up on my towns in Washington State if I'm going to live there one day. Again, this is a flood watch for excessive rainfall. Portions of, let's see, this is in effect from Friday afternoon. Portions of northwestern and central Washington, including the following counties in northwest Washington: Column, Gary, Harbor, Island, Jefferson, Kipsey, Mason, San Juan, Skellet. I can't. If I'm pronouncing these, I apologize. And Whatcom in central Washington, Kings, Lewis, Pierce, Shamash, and Thurston. Shamash and Thurston. The atmospheric river will continue to impact the areas much of the week and bring periods of moderate to heavy rain to the region. Sharp rise are expected in area rivers, especially those falling off the Olympic and Cascades. Urban and small stream flooding is possible for areas with poor drainage. Saturated soil will also increase the potential for landslides, debris flows on burnt scars. And also, I just wanted to tell you guys, if you see water over the road, turn around, don't drown, and if there's any kind of evacuations, please seek those evacuations. And if there's any kind of flash flood emergencies, you guys need to stay cautious and see what needs to be done because your life could be affected by that. Why did it go out of full screen mode? Okay. I think I discovered half of these in some of these. So, Flood Watch, the Flood Watch. I'm not. If you guys want to read that, these are just flood watches. I thought these are warnings. Yeah, here's a flood warning. This is the National Weather Service in Seattle has issued a flood watch for the following rivers in Washington: the White River at R Street Bridge affecting Pierce and King counties, the Nisqually River in McCain affecting Pierce and Thurston counties. A motorist should not attempt to drive around barricades or drive cars through flooded water. I just got done saying that. It happens everywhere. People drive through flooded water all the time. Flooded water can destroy your car. And what's worse is it can sweep you under and you may not get rescued. I'm clicking on this warning here. I just read something similar to that. So if you guys want to read that. Okay, what do we have up here? I'm trying to read the warnings here. This is mostly for the river. This is mostly for the entire river basin that is through here. So, if you're living along any rivers, streams, creeks, and all that, or big ditches or anything like that, I would just go ahead and say, uh, go ahead and be prepared in case you have to leave. And always monitor the rising water and local media, weather outlets, and social media, and things like that. Wow, they got a lot of these. Come on. Oh, this is a new one. This is a new one because this is for immediate broadcast. This is a new one right here. Bulletin immediate broadcast. Flood warning. The National Weather Service in Seattle, Washington. Well, that's at 9:36 a.m. How come that says that's new right there? Usually this is new when it says that. Anyways, whatever. This was issued at 9:36 a.m. So this was already there. Forecasted flooding changed from minor to moderate. Okay, they might have updated it too. Changed from minor to moderate severity for the following rivers in Washington: the Green River near Auburn, affecting King County. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. I just said that. Motorists should not attempt to drive around barricades or drive cars through flooded water. Not only that, you're putting your life at risk, you're putting people in the car's life at risk, and you're also going to damage your car beyond repair. Well, it can be repaired, but you're going to be spending thousands of dollars to do so for a new motor. Uh, it just kind of locked up, didn't it? There we go. I don't know what the heck that was about. And then we have this humongous flood warning right here. This is a big polygon right here. This is about the Green River and stuff like that. Additional details. This is old stuff, but this looks like this is for the Green River. I'm clicking flood warning. This is the Squalamont River in Squalamont Falls in King County. Excuse my pronunciation. And once again, these words right here, folks. I'm not going to repeat it. Toll River above Carton affecting King County. So and the Chute River in Rainier affecting Thurston County. South Fork, let's see, South Fork, still Aquamish River near Jordan Road Bridge affecting Squamish County. So this is a bridge that's being affected. The river, this is and this is the Skymish River near the Goat Bar. That county right there. And remember all these, folks. If I mess up pronunciation, I deeply apologize. I'm not very good at pronouncing stuff, so I'm trying to get the warnings out and help people out. The river near Monroe, uh, and the last two things that I was just talking about. Most of these are for the same areas, the same rivers. I'm not very good at doing all this live stream, doing weather stuff very well, but let's see. This one is South Fork and still Aquamish River near, yeah, that's a bridge. I think I went farther north. I don't know. Some of these warnings, I don't know whether. Okay, so we have a coastal flood advisory. Minor flooding is expected. Around 2 or above ground level, it says San Juan County lowlands of western Whatcom County and the lowlands of western Scata and northwestern Squamish and county zones. So minor coastal flooding due to the tidal overflow. The Scat River near Mount Vernon affecting Scat County. And the Stilgamish River at Arlington affecting Squamish County. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing some of these right. I feel really bad. This is the Skidit River near Concrete. And then we have coastal advisories, coastal flood advisories. Here's something interesting down on this part right here. It says minor coastal floodings due to the tidal overflow is expected around high tide. This may lead to flooding of parking lots, parks, roads, with only isolated road closures expected. Yeah, well, if it's going to do parking lots, that's crazy. And there's also gale warnings and small craft advisories. Gale warnings. If you guys want to read that. Gale warnings, wind advisories, flood watches, special weather statements. Special weather statements, including a metric ton of counties. This special weather statement was actually issued at 4:34 a.m. I'm talking a metric ton of counties. Heavy rainfall this week will lead to the increased threat of landslides in western Washington. Rainfall up to 8 inches over the past several days has increased the adjacent soil moisture to the high level across western Washington. Heavy rainfall of 1 to 5 inches across the lowlands and 4 to 10 inches over the Olympics and Cascades is expected through late Wednesday. Wet and unsettled conditions are also favorable to continue through the rest of the week. The amount of rain will put an extra pressure on soil instability, leading to the increased threat of landslides, debris flows, especially from the recent burn areas. A mudslide. Okay, a mudslide has already been reported along I-90 Monday evening near North Bend, causing closures. More landslides are possible. Areas susceptible to landslides and debris flow under these conditions are steep coastal bluffs and other steep hillsides or road cuts. The recent burn areas and the diminishing threat of landslides and debris flows will continue over the next several days when the rain ends. So yeah, there's all the warnings. There's all the warnings, and we have flash flood warnings and flash flood advisories, coastal flooding advisories. We also have a bunch of flash flood down here. Let's see here. Flood warnings. This is the Coastswit River in Castle Rock affecting Coates County, Coatesville River at Kelso affecting coastal counties. Let's see here. That's a flood advisory. Okay. Is there not a warning here? There's a flood warning right here. The Johnson Creek at Sycamore affecting Moulton and Clarksmith counties. These are in Oregon, by the way. I think. Yeah, there's California. Ooh, I almost got lost with that one. Is that just a flood watch? Flood warning here. Flood warning continues for the following rivers in Oregon. This is the Sitzer River affecting Lincoln County. These little ones are hard to click on, aren't they? The flood warning is extended for the following rivers in Oregon. The Trisk River at Tillamook affecting Tillamook County. Flood warning continues for the following rivers in Oregon. Nahim River near Floss affecting Clatsop in Tillamook County. And the Wilson River in Tillamook County too. Near Tillamook, affecting Tillamook County. Okay, I done clicked on that one. At 2:31 p.m., the National Weather Service in Portland has issued a flood warning for the following rivers in Oregon: the Pudding River in Aurora, affecting Clackamas and Marion counties. I like to know how that river got its name. And what's this little circled area? That's a flood advisory. All right. On these little ones right here. Flood warning. Flood warning at Yakima River in Ultima, affecting Kitsla County, the Yakima River in Horlick. Uh, am I pronouncing that right? Horlick, and the Yakima River in Kahana? Kahan? All right. Uh, Horlick? Okay then. Weird name. This is the, let's see, the Neech River near Neech, affecting Yakima County, and also the Neech River in Cliffdale in Yakima County. I'm doing my best here, I promise. Did I get most of it? I think I did. And then these are wind advisories. Wind advisories, what's this? A high wind warning. This is a high wind warning. National Weather Service in Spokane, a high wind warning from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Winds 30 to 40 miles an hour with gusts to 60 expected. Where? Alpa Summit and Pomeroy. Wind 6 a.m. Wednesday to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time Thursday. Damaging winds will blow down trees, power lines. Widespread power outages expected. Travel will also be difficult. Expect for high profile vehicles. So there's that. Wind advisory for a metric ton of counties and towns. This is a wind advisory now in effect from 8 p.m. this evening to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Wednesday. What? Southwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts to 40 miles per hour. Where portions of northwestern and west central Washington. Wind from 8 p.m. this evening to 10 p.m. Pacific Time Wednesday. Gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects, tree limbs could be blown down, and a few power outages may result. And then there's a flood watch for a metric ton of counties. This is a flood watch remains in effect through Friday afternoon. Flooding caused by excessive rainfall conditions is possible for portions of northwest and west central Washington, including the following counties of Columns, Gray, Harbor, Islands, Jefferson, Gipsy, Menson, San Juan, Spaghetti, Whatcom, in west central Washington, King, Lewis, Pierce, Snohomish, and Thurston counties. Friday afternoon. Excessive rainfall may result in flooding of rivers, creeks, and streams in other low-lying areas and flood-prone locations. Flooding may also occur in poor drainage areas and urban areas. Storm drains and ditches may become clogged with debris. Area creeks and streams that are running high could flood with more heavy rain. The atmospheric river will continue to impact the area through much of the week, bringing periods of moderate and heavy rain to the region. Sharp rises are expected on area rivers, especially those flooding off the Olympic and Cascades. Urban stream and small stream flooding is possible for areas in poor drainage areas. Also, basement flooding could also happen as well if you guys have basements. So, yeah. That was. And then let's just bring back the radar. But first, I want to go to the outlooks really quick. And we can do the outlooks. Well, this is the thunderstorm outlook. Nothing really too major. And then if we come over here to, where is it? Excessive rainfall. This is the day 3 excessive rainfall. Day 2 excessive rainfall, slight risk in the yellow is the excessive rainfall for day 2. And day 1 is a slight risk for excessive rainfall as well. And if we want to look at the snow amounts, it's in the mountains. It's in the mountains. So, if we look at the temperatures for the next 6 to 10 days, above normal, 8 to 14 days above normal, and around normal or below normal the 3 to 4 week time. And also, let's take a look at precipitation. 6 to 10 days above normal, 8 to 14 days above normal, and the 3 to 4 week above normal. Go back to radar here. Yeah, that's why I say a metric ton. A metric ton. I'm trying to get my laptop going because I want to look for something here. I need to jump to this and see what's happening, if there's anything further that I need to report. Oh, look, I called it the Pineapple Express, and well, I'm on my laptop, I can't. But King 5 says, "What is an atmospheric river, and how an atmospheric river, particularly a powerful pineapple express, works?" They're telling how, yeah, this is a pineapple express. I'm glad that they're saying what a pineapple express is. That's what I said it was. Let's see here. Anything else that we need to know? Multiple rivers are flooding in Washington as the atmospheric river lingers into the region. King 5. Lewis County firefighters rescued 5 from submerged car on flooded road. And this is in Lewis County. Folks, I have to say this every time, no matter which part of the United States it's in. I always got to remind people, turn around, don't drown. I mean, I'm pretty for sure that they've been saying this on the news too. You cannot drive through deep flooded waters unless you have a really high profile vehicle. But then again, you don't know whether the road has been swept away or a bridge has been gone, and well, that high profile vehicle will be submerged. and you have to be rescued. And sometimes you may not get rescued. And that's the thing. And guess what? You're not driving your car after all of this. Your car will not be drivable. Your car will have bent rods, smash rods, because water cannot compress. Your engine will be seized, hydrolocked. They got barricades. Let's see, where's the. See, King 5 has this flood warning for the Palop River. The river hits flood stage at 26.2 this morning and expected to crest at 29 feet by Wednesday. The river hasn't crested reached 28 feet since 2006 or 29 feet since 1915. That's from King 5. Firefighters in Nepvine rescued people whose cars become submerged in flooded roads. There's nothing left of that car. I mean, most of that car is completely underwater, and it looked like it affected the electrical system in that car, and the airbags of that car is destroyed. King 5 has reported Paradise saw 8 inches of rain over the last 48 hours. And there's more on the way. There's more on the way. I don't see any has cams. I have has cams turned on. I don't see any has cams. Yeah, I don't think there's any has cams in Washington. There's not has cams in a lot of places. Yeah, there's no has cams. No cams at all. Not even in Oregon. Yeah, so I can't have live video feed for this because there's no has cams, no chasers, no people with live cameras on weather wise. So we just have to look at radar. It says, see what else they say. The National Weather Service says a total at 8:30 a.m. What's this? The Ohana Prakash station has recorded 7.75 inches nearby. I thought that said 77 inches. I'm like, what? The next high level was Cougar Mountain in East King County with 7.2 inches. The the Swanami Pass saw 7.1 inches. Quitaw Station recorded 7.9 inches, 7.09 inches, I should have said. There has been road closures popping up throughout the morning, Tuesday. No, Tuesday morning, if I can learn how to read. State Route 202 and 203 near Falls City were closed as water blanketed the roadways, leaving it unsafe for drivers. Down in Lewis County, where the heaviest rainfall totals were reported by the National Weather Service, firefighters rescued 5 different people, and the northbound and southbound exits of I-5 are now closed at exit 72. Kirkland Road and Bound Road are now closed. The highest recorded totals in Thurston County was in Olympia, with the Southwest Station at 5.3 inches. Jefferson County Owl Owl Mountain, I should say, seen 5.36. Mason County with the highest total at 4.5 inches at Mount Tibu. Pierce County, largest accumulation from the National Weather Service, was at the Carbado Station with 4.3 inches. while Whatcom County saw the most rain at Northeast Hamilton Station at 4.6 in their respective counties. The National Weather Service warns residents not to drive, walk. Why would you walk through floodwaters? That's even more to get swept off your feet. Somebody must be doing it for them to warn people. The National Weather Service warns residents never to drive or walk through floodwaters. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention reports that most flood related deaths occur when a vehicle is driven into hazardous water or when people are attempting to walk through or near floodwaters. S- Excuse me, 6 inches of fastly moving water can knock over an adult, and just 12 inches of running water can carry roadways and most cars away. And just remember, everybody, this is going to get worse. High winds. And what's worse with the high winds is the already saturated ground can easily, for 40, 50, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, can easily bring down trees because the roots have nothing to hang on to of trees, so they just fall. You get being ripped right up from the ground, and it doesn't take much. It does not take much to topple over a tree either. And that tree could fall on power lines, houses, cars, roadways, all sorts of stuff. Let's see here. The U.S. National Weather Service in Seattle, Washington. I'm clicking on it. Again, they're telling people, about never drive or walk through water. And Governor Bob Ferguson even liked it. When you have the governor of the state of Washington liking a National Weather Service post and resharing it, people, come on. They give you the definition between a flood watch and a flood warning. Flood watch is basically flooding is possible, so you got to stay tuned to NOAA weather radio, social media outlets, local TV, radio. Flood warning, on the other hand, is that the flooding is happening or is about to happen, or Doppler radar indicates flooding is happening. You should move to higher ground immediately and never drive through water or walk through water. And a flood emergency or a flash flood emergency is life threatening flooding is happening, whether it's like a dam breaking or a river that completely overflowed or something like that. A flood emergency means that there's life threatening flooding is going to happen and your life is at risk from that flooding. So far, there has not been any flood emergencies issued. But, like I said, the dangers are just not the flooding here. The mudslides is dangerous. A mudslide can kill you too. Flooding can take your life, um, and so could the mudslides. And if you can see, I got the local temperatures turned up on here, where the local temperatures are. So, and this is kind of what's being said across the National Weather Services in the area for Oregon, Washington, across multiple different National Weather Service offices. So okay, so this is from the Oregon newspaper, the Oregon. If they don't make me pay for something just to read something. So flooding and landslides on Oregon's coast have closed roads, including parts of US 101 on Tuesday, as the atmospheric river continues to roll across the state, bringing heavy rain. Dairy farm buildings and a few residential adjacent to the Trisk River in the vicinity of Highway 101 may be threatened. The Tillamook Sheriff's Office said on social media Tuesday. The river is expected to rise above flood stage this evening, and a flood warning for Tillamook County is in effect just until after midnight. And they show a picture of some kind of work van driving through flooded waters. You can't make this stuff up. KATU, KATU, excuse me, uh, says they're calling it the winter storm soaking parts of the Pacific Northwest. And this is in northwestern Oregon. A lot of flooding and a squirrel having fun. Somebody squirreled themselves. Yeah, it looks like some parts of downtown Tillamook is flooded. Looks like that's a main road. Landslides also closed parts of Highway 101. Yeah, that's crazy. They're encouraging people not to swim in the Willamette River today. The big pipe is full. Well, if there's river flooding, the current's going to be absolutely crazy. So I wouldn't want people to uh, swim in rivers. And I don't encourage anybody to swim in rivers. The fact that they had to tell people not to swim in rivers is absolutely stupid. Let's see here. I'm just looking across a bunch of news sources and see whether there's any more information I can pass along to you. Olympia smashes the rainfall records for December 8th. The second atmospheric river, and this one's the big one. Apparently, oh my God! They show. Look at all these cars completely. Wow, there's one, two, three cars that are completely just flooded. People trying to go over overpasses and stuff. This is from KOMO News. It's just absolutely crazy. I I don't understand why people continue to drive through flooded waters. I was trying to look and see whether there was any more highway closings that I didn't mention. But oh my gosh. Look, I don't want MSN. I would rather have the news station itself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's basically what I just said. Let's see, that's KGW out of Portland. I want to go look that up on Facebook. KGW TV. Looks like the Johnson Creek area in southeast Portland is moving pretty quickly and looks like it's flooding. Yeah, that river is crazy flooded. But man, some of the views are kind of pretty though. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's see, Longview opens severe weather shelter Tuesday night. At Cowatts and Clark counties are reporting flooding. Portions of several roads around Cowatts County, and Clark counties were closed Tuesday due to localized flooding as the atmospheric river soaks the Pacific Northwest. So Longview is opening up severe weather shelters Tuesday night in the city. And if you're in Cowatts County and Clark counties and you're experiencing flooding, there's a good place to go if you can get there. And if you can't, and if you live outside town and the roads are flooded, I don't know what to tell you. Just don't drive through or walk through the waters. Let's see here what we all have. Let's see. I'm just trying to pick up some of the highlights that can help people here. Clark County issued a news release Tuesday morning, localized flooding in many parks, including the Daybreak Regional Park and Louisville Regional Park, as well as road closures at the intersection of Northeast 156th Street and 102 Avenue, along Northeast 112th Avenue North and 156th Street in Brushperry. As of 1:30 p.m., Clark County updated its list to include the Hapa boat launch in Lucet Falls Regional Park, Moulton Falls Regional Park, and Northeast J.R. Anderson Road between Northeast Northeast 72 Avenue and Northeast Manson Creek Road, and no estimated times of opening. The Washington State Department of Transportation initially reported that State Route 504 was closed Tuesday morning in both directions at Hill Road near Totul, Totul due to water over the roadways. The agency also reported multiple closures along and part of State Route 4 in Pacific and Wacamo counties. Many schools in the area were impacted Tuesday. The Castle Rock and Winlock school districts, Winlock school districts, both started 2 hours late. Might as well just called off school if the flooding was that bad. I mean, really? What happened to? Never mind. Mm. And the Tool Lake School District canceled all classes. That's the way it should have been done right there. Winlock, y'all need to do something better, and you should have just called off school. And the Kilos School District put its buses on morning snow routes, and you guys should have just called off school too. And other Cowlitz County and Lower Columbia School, but excuse me, I was reading something and the page refreshed. Well, I don't know how to get back to that one. Ay, 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 ay. As far as I know, all these roads are still closed. I haven't seen any more updates to say that they were open, so. Like, there's a picture that's from KMOM News. Says Western Washington's underwater. Well, look at that debris flow in that flooding water. That's crazy. That's another thing about the flooding, that it can cause debris flows like wood drifts and things like that that can be even more dangerous. Let's see what we have here. This is just recently posted to Facebook. I think it's just a repeat of some of the flooding happening here. Monroe, Washington. It has been a long Tuesday morning and afternoon across western Washington, faced flooded roads and closures all over. Yeah, let's just put it this way. Let's just say a lot of several roads and let's see. A town. Here's one. The town in Snohomish, deputies begin evacuating the Three Rivers mobile home park due to concerns about flooding, the sheriff said. So they already evacuated mobile home parks. And if you get evacuations, go. There's no way of staying around. Your life will be in danger. The Red Cross is now open in Snohomish County, where workers are working with the local emergency officials to determine if and when shelters may be needed. Evacuees can go to the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe for shelter, for assistance. It's frustrating because people says they got goats and chickens and sheeps. I don't know what to tell you about that. If there's an evacuation, go, because chances are you may get swept away. In Pierce County, Fire and Rescue is reminding drivers never to go around barriers and flooded roads. Oh, and people has been doing it. What's that? A tree that fell on some? See that? That's another thing. Mudslides and the winds and everything can knock over trees. So, with that being said, I hope I provided enough information for everybody. My throat is getting really, really sore right now. So, yeah, if you guys are in Washington State and Oregon, part of the Pacific Northwest, hunker down. It's going to be a long night and maybe a long week with flooding, winds, and everything because this atmospheric river is going to continue over the next 24 to 48 hours. If you have an evacuation notice, evacuate. Don't walk or drive through floodwaters. And keep attuned to local social media outlets, news outlets, weather radios, TV outlets, and law enforcement. And once again, I apologize for mispronouncing any names that I have came across. I'm still learning how to pronounce some of the names. I love the Pacific Northwest and I love to keep everybody safe. Because everybody from the Pacific Northwest has treated me with so much kindness. So I figured I would give weather updates for you all too. With that being said, I'm going to end this live stream and always pay attention to the weather and weather radios and everything like that. And like Ryan Hall says, be prepared, don't be scared. I love you all. Stay safe out there. Stay safe.